Welcome to Dr. P.C. Verma Economics, the YouTube economics class. In this class, we are discussing India's exports and imports position in 2024-25. We will compare export and import position of India from 2023 to 2024 and then 2024 to 2025. India's goods exports suffered a blip last month after 3 months of growth had triggered hope of a notable recovery from a patchy 2023-24 performance. July merchandise shipments tally of just under $34 billion marks a 1.5% drop from 2023 levels, but is also the weakest number since November 2023 and the second worst since October 2022. Although 18 of India's top 30 export items clocked growth, including electronics, ready-made garments, handicrafts, there are significant drag from the rest. Petroleum export dropped, while gems and jewelry fell, chemical slipped, and curb on some food exports continued to hurt. This was accompanied by a tangible 7.5% rise in the import bill, fueled by a 17.4% surge in petroleum imports and a significant rise in consumer demand-driven non-oil, non-gold imports, such as electronics, pulses, and vegetable oil. Gold imports fell, but have hovered in the 3 billion to 3.4 billion range since April. With the union budget slashing import duties, gold imports could spike further. Moreover, silver imports that have been rising exponentially, mainly due to the concessional duties offered under a trade pact with the UAE, shot up 440% in July and almost 202% higher in the first 4 months of 2024-25. Of course, the combination of shrinking exports and growing imports spiked the trade deficit by almost 24% to $23.5 billion, a 9-month peak. Further upside risks remain, especially with domestic demand expected to hold up relative to the global demand for the India's exports. The Commerce Ministry still appears sanguine and believes India will surpass last year's record export tally, factoring in robust services export. But the outlook is uncertain with the existing and fresh geopolitical disruptions. Bangladesh repeatedly flaring up, and freight cost surges, making some export unviable. A recent decline in commodity prices is another worry, especially with a decelerating Chinese economy, promoting its producers to flood global markets by undercutting prices. Global trade is expected to grow faster than 2023, but India must run harder to keep up and actualize any gains, while the center's steps to tap new markets are laudable. It would do better to offer more certainty for exporters on the fate of official schemes to boost their competitiveness before global festive orders come up for the bidding. A duty remission scheme, RODTEP, has been extended only till September 30, while an interest subsidy scheme lapsed in June for large players and ceased this month for smaller firms. Interministerial parley for their continuation and even expansion must be expedited so that exporters have greater visibility over longer timelines to do their operational math rather than last-minute surprise. So it is quite interesting uh, analysis of India's export and import and having focus on a positive outlook. India's goods exports suffered a blip last month after 3 months, after 3 months of growth. 3 months growth. 3 months of growth. 3 months of growth that had triggered that had triggered hope of triggered hope of a notable notable recovery recovery from a patchy from a from a from a patchy 2024 2024 2023-24 performance. performance. July merchandise. July July's merchandise. Merchandise shipment. Merchandise shipments tally of just under dollar 34 billion marks. A 1.5% drop. One point five percent 1.5% drop from 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 2023 level. 2023 levels, but is also but is also the weakest number. The weakest number since 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 November 2023, and the second worst second worst second worst since October 2022. Although 18 of India's top 30 export items export items, clocked growth items, clocked, clocked growth, including including electronics, up to 37.3%. Ready-made garment, ready-made ready-made garments, ready-made garments, 11.8, 11.8%. Number 3, handicrafts, handicrafts, 13.2, 13.12%. And there was and there was signi- significant there was significant drag significant drag from the rest. Petroleum exports dropped 22.2%. Gem and jewelry gem and jewelry fell 20.4%. Chemicals slipped 12%. And curbs on some and curbs curbs on some some food 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 exports continued to hurt. This was by a tangible this was accompanied by a tangible by a tangible by a tangible by a tangible 7.5% rise in the import bill fueled by a 17.4% surge in petroleum imports and a significant a significant rise in consumer demand, rise in consumer demand driven non-oil gold imports such as electronics, pulses, and vegetable. vegetable, vegetable, oil, gold imports gold imports fell. Gold imports fell 10.7% in dollar in dollar terms but but have hovered hovered into hovered in the hovered in the 3 billion 3 3 billion 3 billion dash dollar 3.4 billion range since April with the union budget slashing import duties import duties gold imports gold gold imports could spike could spike further. Moreover, moreover, silver imports silver import that have been rising that have been rising exponentially 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 mainly due to mainly due to mainly due to concessional duties con concessional duties offered offered under a trade pact offered under a the trade pact trade pact with the UAE sought up almost 440% in July and are almost 202% higher in the first four in the first 4 months of 2024-25. Of course, the combination of the combination of shrinking exports and growing and growing imports growing imports spiked the trade deficit by almost 24% to $23.5 billion a 9-month a 9-month peak. Further upside risk remain, especially with domestic demand with domestic with domestic demand, expected to hold up, to hold up, relative to the global demand for India's exports. India's exports. The Commerce Ministry the Commerce Ministry still appears sanguine sanguine and and believes India will will surpass India will surpass last year's record export tally, factoring factoring in robust in robust services robust services exports, but the outlook but the outlook is uncertain. Uncertain. With existing. With existing. With existing. With existing and fresh and fresh geopolitical disruption. Disruptions. Repeatedly. Repeatedly flaring. Flaring up. And freight. Freight. Freight cost. Surges. Freight cost surges. Making some exports unviable. Viable. A recent decline. A recent decline in commodity prices. In commodity prices is another worry. Another worry, especially with a with a decelerating decele- decelerating Chinese economy, protecting its producers to to flood global markets, global global markets by undercutting prices, by under by undercutting prices. Global trade is expected is expected to to grow faster to grow than faster than 2023, but India India must run harder to keep up and actualize and actualize any gains, any actualize any gains. Actualize any gains. Actualize any gains. While the centers while the center center's steps to tap new markets are laudable. Laudable. It would do better to offer more certainty, more certainty, more certainty for exporters, for exporters, on the fate of on the fate of official schemes. Official on the fate of official schemes to boost their competitiveness, their competitiveness. Before global festive orders come up forbidding a duty remission scheme, a duty remission scheme, RODTEP, has been extended only till September 30. While an interest subsidy and interest subsidy scheme lapsed in June for for large players for large players and and siege this month for a smaller firm for a smaller firms. Inter ministerial minis ministerial parlage parlage for their continuation or for their for their conti for their continuation and even continuation and even expansion must be ex, expi, expedited ex, expedited expedited so that exporters have exporters have greater visibility visibility over over longer timelines over longer timelines to do their operational their their operational math rather than rather than last minute surprise. Last minutes thus we come to the conclusion that India's good exports suffered a blip last month after 3 months of growth that had triggered hope of notable recovery from a patchy 2023-24 performance. July merchandise shipment tally of just under $34 billion marks a 1.5% drop from 2023 levels, but is also the weakest number since the November 2023 and the second worst since October 2022. Although 18 of India's top 30 export items clocked growth, including electronics, ready-made garments, handicrafts, there was significant drag from the rest. Petroleum export dropped, gem and jewelry fell, chemical slipped, and curbs on some food exports continued to hurt. This was accompanied by a tangible 7.5% rise in the import bill, fueled by a 17.4% surge in petroleum imports and a significant rise in consumers' demand, driven non-oil, non-gold imports such as electronics, pulses, vegetables, oils. Gold imports fell in dollar terms, but have hovered in the high range during April. With the union budget slashing import duties, gold imports could spike further. Moreover, silver imports have been rising exponentially, mainly due to concessional duties offered under a trade pact with the UAE, shot up almost 440% in July and are almost 202% higher in the first 4 months 2024-25. So finally, we come to the conclusion that a recent decline in commodity prices is another worry, especially with a decelerating Chinese economy promoting its producers to flood global markets by cutting prices. Global trade is expected to grow faster than 2023, but India must run harder to keep up and actualize any gains. While the center's step to tap new markets are laudable, it would be better to offer more certainty for exporters on the fate of official scheme to boost their competitiveness before global festive order come up for bidding. That's all. And as usual, like it, subscribe it, share it with your friends, and discuss among friends. These topics are very important for interview purpose, for mains examination in IES, IAS, and BPSC, financial, state Bihar finance, special service, Bihar Finance Financial Service under BPSC. Thank you for watching this video. I am Dr. P.C. Verma, economist. I have been teaching for the last 50 years. I started teaching in 1973 as a lecturer. Then I became a professor, and I worked as university professor till 2016, head of Department of Economics, Department Patna College, Patna University. Thereafter, I taught as a guest faculty in Chanakya National Law University, Law Economics. I taught students MBA in BIT Mesra, Patna campus. I taught MBA in Patna University, Darbhanga House under postgraduate commerce department. I taught capitalism and socialism for a master's in human welfare under sociology, postgraduate department of sociology under Patna University. One thing is very funny that I am being a arts professor economics, Patna College. I taught in science college in the course PG-, postgraduate diploma in actuarial science. Actuarial means risk. Economics teaches risk, how to solve risk, how to fight risk. So I was called for teaching different papers in actuarial science, PG-. It is very easy to get a job after passing this postgraduate diploma in actuarial science. So I teach variety of subjects related to economics. And it is my passion to read economics, teach economics to students. Thank you for watching this video.